Thank you, Mr. Reddy. I'll grab my notes as well.
welcome.
Yes, and I'm grateful I get to see you again before I leave in just a few weeks.
So you were here for 1 month or 2 months?
About 2 months, 2.5 months actually. Half a month left. So, and it's been really wonderful. I've learned so much. Like there's so much history just in the walking through Hyderabad. So, thank you for allowing me to come and experience all of that.
That's very good.
Yes. So, I would love to hear about the state of heritage in Hyderabad, especially celebrating our 76 years of independence. What you believe the state of heritage is for today's contemporary, planning.
We actually, as you know, the back history, it started somewhere in 70s actually, when Hyderabad Urban Development Authority was established. So there, actually the conservation of heritage buildings, that entire process has started. So initially the first what they did is that they documented all the heritage structures as such, building elements. So then subsequently they notified and they formulated a separate heritage guidelines as a part of Hyderabad master plan, which was done somewhere in between 75 to 80. So that was the first step, I think, towards the heritage conservation, which was done by the Hyderabad Urban Development Authority. So there is a lot of good documentation of all the heritage buildings, and certain regulations were also framed, and there was a heritage conservation committee, which consisting of few experts, conservation experts, and few officials. So that heritage committee was looking into the entire gamut of the heritage conservation.
That's great.
So subsequently, the Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, which is a local body, so they also started doing some heritage activities. So out of that, the important one was the Charminar pedestrianization project. So which originally it was conceived as a tourism project. It was more of a tourism department thing, where they want to make for the tourists who are visiting Charminar much user-friendly, tourist-friendly, like pedestrianization and other things. But subsequently the scope was enlarged, and the heritage conservation was also brought into that CPP project. So few elements we have completed in the CPP, but still some of the things are still it's a ongoing process. So we are doing it.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So what I'm hearing is there's a lot of levels to heritage that is now being brought to the local level of like the human experience, the civilian experience. How important do you think that is for the future of like preserving like conservation sites and historical sites?
So future, actually what we were thinking is that maybe we have to see the area as a whole, rather than the building centric. So maybe we should see that entire heritage precinct or that heritage area as a whole, and make the people appreciate the heritage angle of their area. So that itself will be an asset for them. In future, maybe we have to create an awareness among the public, saying that so what is the importance of heritage and how it is going to improve their economic conditions. So those are the things I think future we are trying to do it. We are involving them in the entire process.
That's wonderful. And my project is looking at the British residency area and how, preserving and conserving it, but also looking at what are the uses for the everyday person. So one idea that we're proposing now is like an interpretation center expanded, since we already have that at the Darbar, and expanding it for the school's use as well. Have you engaged in projects like that? The Charminar pedestrian pathway, that seems to be something like that, is engaging the historical with the I guess present day use. Do you have other examples or other projects that you're hoping to also do that kind of work with?
The residency part?
Yes, the residency, similar to making a heritage site more user-friendly, like a museum or a school or other uses for that, like adaptive reuse of these buildings as well.
That's one building which we are doing. Bob, just put the fans off. So one building what we are trying to reuse, that thing is re-adopting use is Sardar Mahal. It's actually our old MCH office. the local body office, the municipal corporation office was there in that building. So it was since it was in old dilapidated condition, we constructed a new building, we shifted there. But we wanted to use that as a cultural center. So that entire building. So already the work is now is ongoing. So we have identified Kalakriti Art Academy, Kalakriti Center, Mr. Prashant Lahoti. So he's a famous art guy in the Hyderabad. So he's doing that work.
Okay.
He's doing that work, and hopefully we in the next couple of months. So we will be having a beautiful cultural center there. So we are earlier it was an office, but now cultural center, and which is very close to Charminar. So people can come there. So we are trying to put some exhibitions there, photo exhibitions, then cultural activities, which are very genuine to Hyderabad. So Hyderabad cultural activities, then open auditorium, and a lot of other things are there in that. So that entire building will be used as a cultural center.
That's amazing. So what was the building called? Sorry, I love this idea. It's really cool. What's the building called?
A Sardar Mahal.
Center Mahal.
Sardar Mahal. SARDAR. Sardar Mahal.
Okay. Amazing. Oh, and that's really wonderful. I wish I would be here for that. I'll have to come back.
Yeah.
And
Maybe you can visit once. Actually, now work is going on.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to visit. And what was the name of the artist as well? The artist who's who's doing a lot of the work there at the cultural center right now.
Who?
The artist that you mentioned. The name of the architect or
Architect is Kalakriti. Kalakriti.
How do you spell his name?
KALAKUKRUTI. Kalakriti. It's a famous art center, which is now in Hyderabad.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Prashant Lahoti.
Prashant?
Mr. Prashant Lahoti.
Lahoti.
I think you should meet him.
Yeah, I would love to meet him. I'll reach out first. Do you have his contact?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I will give the number to.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. That'd be amazing. Wow, well, thank you. And I wanted to ask, this is something that's also being brought up is, so in moments where history might also seem oppressive or just pessimistic or sad, like we also see like the British being here, of course it's Independence Day, we're celebrating the fact that we've gotten our independence, looking at the residency in that sense and that history, how do you reconcile like the negative aspects of history with still preserving those spaces and those buildings?
No, I think the history we should not see into the aspects of ruler or people who are ruled by them. It's not that. It's basically about the artistic characteristics of the building. We have to see more into that, more into the historical perspective of the nation, whether it is Mughals or whether it is British or whoever is there. The structures built by them is part of our historical legacy. So we should not getting into the negative aspects of that thing, how they ruled it, and we should more see as a art building or artistic side rather than into the details of the who ruled and why we should have the structures constructed by them as a legacy.
Thank you. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
It's just thank you so much.